So we've got to find out what this memorial is across the road, or monumental. Yeah, but I know it's the Holy Name Primary School. This is David Matthew Collinson. You're watching Living with Autism. Douglas Lewis Ledby, Director of Operations, Neo Roosevelt Group, and Default Managing Director for all NRG subsidiary business development venture vehicle entities, has confirmed that he will convene at the mothership, i.e. Room 17, James Street Motor Inn, i.e. the Roosevelt Suite. He will convene there within half an hour to set up the 1-800 number on a VoIP router and the smart home gear on one SSID AP point, access point, and the other as a secured network access point for all networking devices like laptops and phones. And Kate will be grumpy and excited. But look at that. It's a nice car. One thing reminds me, one time I turned up to Haley's place in Gundawindi in my limited time there. We go straight through this lights.
See us go this way.
Yeah, but you can go straight through in the other lane and get there quicker. I think that's what Doug did the other night.
So do you know the rest of the way?
It can't be that hard. It's Toowoomba. We'll figure it out. Bill scoffed at me. So one time I turned up at Haley's place in an army jeep, like a 1943 army jeep, American. And Haley's like, "How do you do this, David?" I said, "I don't know, Haley." But this bloke had driven into Gundawindi and I waved him over because his car was so cool. And then I was like, "Could I have a lift?" He says, "Sure." And I said, what we're doing is we're going to pick up my fiance and then we're driving to this other address. He's like, "Yeah, okay." And he was all happy because he was getting to talk about his car, which he'd had since the Second World War. And I was all happy because I was riding the coolest car in Gundawindi. And my fiance is all happy because she's like, "What the hell, David? How do you keep pulling off all this stuff?" Now, I used to move so quickly and do these crazy things when I first met her that she actually thought I had magic capabilities. She had superstitious beliefs. I believed in tarot cards and rune stones and magic fairies and so on, because she has schizophrenia. And when she was working as a erotic dancer and had money, she went down to the Crystal Castle in North New South Wales, and this lady sold her a piece of obsidian worth $3 on eBay for $250, and she told her that the things that she was hearing is because she was becoming clairaudient. She said when your powers have developed, you'll be clairaudient, clairvoyant, and clair something else. And she just fully took advantage of this young lady and her schizophrenia, and was saying like, "Yeah, come back when you have more money and I'll sell you more magic stones." And anyway, so Haley, when she saw the things that I was doing, she assumed that I had magical abilities. And I learned that if you do stuff fast enough and phenomenal enough, people will believe you can actually do miracles. Obviously, if you run around telling people you're doing miracles and you're not doing miracles, that would be dishonest. But if people just assume and you don't hear about it and you have no time to correct them, or you just don't have time to correct them, or you don't bother correcting them, I don't think that's a sin. What do you think, Bill, if I overloaded you? Bill doesn't think I'm crazy anymore.
Doesn't what?
I've said to the camera, "You don't think I'm crazy anymore, do you?" Or maybe you're still unsure.
I know you better.
You know me better than to know that I'm crazy. You're not some foreign-born psychiatrist who can't speak English. My current psychiatrist, Dr. Miriam, she's not the director level one that did the misdiagnosis review, who I moved in his position, so he actually is towards the view that I have been misdiagnosed. So we'll go right here. Yeah, Dr. Miriam, she actually has a good command of the English language. And did I tell you I created 2 AI psychiatrist bots? So these are artificial psychiatrists. And I had a really long consultation with one of them. And my psychiatrist bot concluded that I'd been misdiagnosed. It said that I had complex PTSD from being made homeless so many times and being misjudged and put in the psych ward so many times, that I was being triggered into hypervigilance, and it confirmed that there was this feedback loop happening where every time I got in front of a psychiatrist, I was made nervous that they were going to take away my freedom. That would make me hypervigilant, and that would make me come across as fast talking or like somewhat erratic perhaps. And then they would conclude that that was a symptom of mania, because they'd say oh, you're very elevated right now. And then also it concluded that my autism speak, my specific use of words, phrasings, and so on, it wasn't grandiose talk. It was just because I was autistic and specific, and had a good command of the English language. And so I had the psychiatrist skim through the consultation transcript, like in text format, and she was a bit doubtful at first, but then it came up with problems to do with the administration of certain medications, and that they shouldn't have been giving me 2 different types of antipsychotics, even if I was bipolar, and because of the compound effects and the unknown drug interaction effects, and anyway, and that they should have been giving me benzos to calm me down, and that they weren't. And anyway, that's how I got a second level psychiatrist review, and that's how I got out of the hospital when I was there for 3.5 months in November through 4 months, November through February, which really sucked. You can't understand how bad it is to be forced to sleep on these awful beds that are like 1 foot wide, 1.5 feet wide, and eat this awful food. And my only credit card access was my phone, and I wasn't allowed to use my phone, so I wasn't allowed to order Uber Eats, and I normally survive off of Uber Eats when they put me in there. And they just wouldn't allow me access to the phone. Even though all the other patients had a phone, they thought that I was capable of bringing in darknet supplies and getting the whole ward off their face. Have you gone up the wrong street? Yeah. Oh no, we take the left into here, don't we?
Right.
Left. Next left.
Yeah, I know.
That left.
This left.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got the wrong one.
And then left again.
Jennings.
Yeah, Jennings. Oh, I got that distracted by Doug doing his thing that I forgot to ask him for acetone. I need acetone because I've locked one of the zips on this compendium's closed with super glue.
We'll text him.
Yeah, I will, but he doesn't look at his phone.
No, at some stage he will.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Yeah, so do you reckon it's right or wrong that the owner of this place is charging all these people full rack retail on these motel rooms, which are half the size of an apartment, or a third the size of an apartment that would rent for $600 a week, and he charges them $1,100-1,200 a week, and he treats them as if they don't have any rights.
Okay. You go open up and I'll come in, eh?
Yep, okay. I don't think it's right. Someone's taken off my Neo Roosevelt group signage because they've left the Queensland Police Supreme Commander insignia there.